me get a beat, I kick it funky like feet. Let me get a beat, I kick it feet like. Let me get a beat, I kick it funky like feet. Let me get a beat, I kick it feet like. Let me get a beat, I kick it funky like feet.
And of course, what I like to do with every guest, get your phone nearby.
Yeah.
Are you a Spotify guy? Are you a Amazon guy? How do you stream your music?
Spotify. Yeah.
Spotify.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the last song that you were listening to today?
Oh my God.
Last song?
Not today. I think, can I check here?
Yeah, of course.
Is, yeah, I think it was the Zombies. Oh, Time of the Season by the Zombies. Yeah.
Time of the Season. Is that the new, hang on. Time of the Season. Tell me if this sounds like it.
That's it. Yeah.
You can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah.
So correct me if I'm wrong. That's like the OG. Isn't that the Mamas and Papas are the originals, right?
I don't think so. No. You're onto something, but I think this is the Zombies. I think they did the
You're
original.
right. You're right. The Mamas and the Papas did
California Dreaming and
Dreaming.
Yeah. Na, 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 na.
All right. So do you got a good story behind it?
And the sky is gray. And the sky is gray.
Okay. Stick to your day job. All right. Andreas.
Hey, stop having so much fun, okay?
Tell me, like, is this like the go-to when you're like cruising or doing the work, the marketing? Like, is this a go-to?
No, actually, it's not. No. What do I like? I like wacky stuff, like Carol G and Shakira and just funky.
Yes. Now we're talking.
Spanish, Latino, Portuguese music, funky stuff that most kids like us don't listen to.
Is it funny how we have different music for different moods? Like there's the work mood.
Yeah.
There's the different focuses that we have throughout our day.
Yeah.
All right. So we just got a little taste of the Zombies. Time of the Season, y'all. That's an oldie but a goodie. I do appreciate you bringing that, man. I always love to know what's on people's
right.
You never know what you're going to find. My last guest, we had Taylor Swift.
Okay.
I never would have guessed, right? Like people wouldn't guess what I have on my playlist.
Right.
Warm-up question. I always like to start with a warm-up question. So let's kind of throw that warm-up pitch and get you rolling. All right, Andreas, let me think. Before we get into the serious stuff, let's loosen things up, shall we? Here's the question I have for you. Over the years, you've probably heard some wild SEO advice, and I'm talking stuff like change your font color to match your keywords or buy 10,000 backlinks from a guy in a forum. What's one of the most outrageous bad SEO tips you've ever heard someone actually suggest? And hopefully you didn't charge them for it. You like that last part, right?
I like that. So in terms of SEO, things have changed so much. We used to do SEO. God, I'm like a politician. I'm kind of like going in my own direction.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, no. Here, this is the exciting thing. When we first started out, SEO was kind of what you were describing. It's just the Wild West. It's like just do Britney Spears. Just do mention her name 10,000 times in the alt tags, and then you'll get traffic. But then the crazy thing is, okay, fine, even if you achieve that, then you get Britney Spears traffic, but you are selling an HR software. Like, how is it going to help you? So it's just creating content that brings visitors, but that doesn't do anything for you. That's like the stupidest thing you can do. Yeah. Because then you get the numbers, you get the you get the crazy increase in traffic, and you can impress the CMO with that. But then if you look at the final
Result.
the final result,
Yeah.
it's a waste of time.
Yeah, I imagine that you probably have like a wall of SEO shame somewhere of the stories stacked up and the stories that we can share at the next mixer that we find each other at. But that's good. I always, I was thinking about, okay, what do I want to kind of throw at Andreas to kind of knock him off his feet, and he's got to have a funny in there somewhere. But I like the Britney Spears. And by the way, oops, I don't think I'm going to
that's
say
for
her
real.
name.
That is for real. That came up over and over and over. Yeah, seriously.
Well,
and
hey,
people
man.
are like, oh, can't we do something like that? It's like, no, you don't want to.
Yeah.
Like you can do it, but it's not, it won't help you in the end. Yeah.
It's all about what's hot and what's not. Hello, friends. My name is EP, and this is another episode of Epic Hype. Buckle up. Here we go. Today's sponsor is Prancer.io. Today's show is sponsored by these guys. A little shout out to Farshid. Is your cloud secure or just hoping it is? Meet Prancer, the platform that puts your cloud compliance on autopilot with AI-driven continuous validation. From policy as code to attack simulation, Prancer hardens your environment before the hackers even try. Ready to shift left and stay ahead? Go to Prancer.io and take control of your cloud. Little shout out to my friend Farshid. And by the way, you guys want to get more information and mention the word epic to him, you might get a nice little deal out of Farshid over there at Prancer. All right, so let's jump into it. Who do I have on the show today? What's that? You like the name?
Let's hear it for Prancer.
Hey, I was waiting for you to say let's hear it for Rudolph, which, by the way, that's a real solution tool that he's got working up over there.
No, it looks good. Yeah.
Bloofusion.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for pronouncing it correctly. Yeah, I usually get Bloofusion.
I get it. Well, we could probably
you guys are med tech, right? It's like, no, biotech. No.
Today on Epic Hype, we're bringing on a guy who doesn't just read Google's algorithm updates, he integrates them. Andreas Mueller is the managing director of Bloofusion, a digital marketing agency that's been decoding SEO like it's the Matrix. He's been in the game long enough to know what works, what's noise, and what most agencies are just too darn scared to tell you. If you're still optimizing for keywords, something like 2013, will buckle up. This conversation might actually hurt. From Bloofusion, give it up for my man that certainly is not singing the blues. He is the managing director. He is Mueller. Nope, that's Mueller with an M. Andreas Mueller. What's up, my man? Welcome to the show.
Hey, it's good to be here. I love your energy, man. I do.
I am the hype man. I do. Gotta have that energy, man. Fuel for the fire.
Yes.
So you and I met at AI Infra.
Yep.
Thank you, Bill Berry.
Yep. Jessica and Bill. Yep. Thank you. Great.
Thank you, Jessica.
Great conference.
Thank you, Tony Zernoon, who got me introduced. Great show.
Tony's great. Tony's awesome. Yep.
And like everybody there, who are you, what you do, and what's epic about your life? What's going on? So you started talking to me. I picked up real quick. I was trying to kind of vet out. Am I talking to somebody that is a VC? Am I talking to a founder? Am I talking to someone wearing multiple hats? And yeah, I kind of like checked all the boxes. I'm like, okay, this guy knows a thing or two. And then I really was digging the conversation you and I were having as it pertains to what marketing has been, where it is now, what you're doing. And what I love is that, Andreas, you have a lot of experience. I think there's something really big about that statement with anybody that's getting involved with a startup. Man, startup with somebody that's got experience, somebody that has crashed and burned, somebody that has learned. But there's so many different things I want to talk about. And I'll just start off the first one, which is that statement, SEO is dead. It's a marketing phrase. You probably haven't heard it, right? Since your last prospect call. SEO is dead. This gets thrown around like every year. What part of SEO should actually die? Share that with us. And then why hasn't it died yet?
So SEO has gone through a lot of iterations, and there's a long history to it. Just the idea of SEO is dead. It just came up over and over ever since. I mean, I got involved in SEO in the late 90s. And believe it or not, most of you out there probably have no idea what I'm talking about now, but we would optimize, like I was a VP marketing for a software company. We'd optimize for Lycos, for Alta Vista,
Oh
for
my gosh.
Yahoo. Yes.
Wow. Alta
Yes.
Vista.
Alta Vista.
Throwback.
That's right. And then Google came along. And honestly, when I saw Google, and one of the Garrett was the guy who's a technical guy who worked with me as a like pre-sales tech, and he showed me the homepage. And I'm like, what's the point? Like, because you think, because back then you would think Yahoo, you got the
Yeah.
news, you got the branding, you got the additional information, you got the value add, and Google's like, it's just a white page with an entry field. And it, I mean, technically it makes sense, but it's like, this is not, you can't sell this. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's, yeah, that's way back.
Content
But
is king.
the thing that Google did was with those, you know, the two kids from Stanford who really figured out how to code a search engine well, is it relied on, I think the original name of it was Backrub.
Okay.
Was like their beta name for it. And part of that harkened back to the idea of like, you know, you rub my back, I rub yours. But it's the idea of inbound links. So they started focus on links that pointed to your website. And that was a huge change in thought at the time, because I mean, like we're kind of kidding around about this. You were able to just fill up a page with like white on white content that said Britney Spears, Britney Spears, Britney Spears, and suddenly you would rank well, because that's the content was the only thing that counted, no other factors. And so those, you know, Sergey Brin and Larry Page, they went into detail to kind of create a foundation that you couldn't subvert the search engine in as easily. And
Just listening to you say all this, Andreas, I just think about, like, as we speak, you know, here it is, 2025, Chat GPT,
yes,
and OMG, oops,
yes.
I did it again.
Nice one. Nice one.
The times are a changing, my man.
It's by the zombies,
Because
isn't it? Oops, I didn't.
yeah, that's a little. I mean, a little Bob Dylan. The times are changing, because here we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
You know, algorithm, schmalgorithm. It's a
yeah.
whole new world. So let's kind of, like, I really want to get into Bloofusion. I want people to walk away today understanding what you guys do, how you guys are making a difference, obviously. And then obviously I want to also tie in, you know, what's going on in the industry with trends. Bloofusion claims to bring transparency to marketing. So who's hiding what in the industry, and why is it still working?
SEO is tough. SEO is really tough. We started out doing SEO way back in 2001, when I remember I was presenting with the VP of marketing of West Marine. Like, I mean, for us, that was a huge potential account. So I was just presenting with him at a summit. And after we were done, he kind of looked at me and he said, "Hey, can you guys help us with SEO?" Like, it was one of those things where you kind of tried it yourself, you failed, but there were no experts really. And so back then, if you truly were an expert and you knew what it took, and it's not just, you know, all the BS, all the tags. Like, whenever I hear, oh, get the tags right, it's like, okay, the tags, title tag, fine, but then after that, 99% is content. It's you know, having good content.
Is there a
And
sacred cow in the industry that you just want to slaughter? Like, get the hell out of the way, like, move this out. Like, you know, like, every industry has this, right? I'll speak on behalf of cybersecurity. Companies out there that make these claims that I'll just use remediation. Oh, we remediate. We do all the remediation. No, you don't. How do I know that? Because the customers tell me. So, like, you have those in SEO that don't do, or they're making claims that are just like, do you want to just, like, take it out to the back and put them down? Because you're like, stop it already.
yeah, so when I hate to say pitch, but when I speak to a potential client, I will, like, if they actually ask me if I can guarantee something, because I'd say, hey, this, I don't know, this audit's going to be $20,000. Oh,
Yeah.
can you guarantee blah, blah, blah? I say, absolutely. Like, I look them straight in the eyes, say, absolutely not, because that's unethical. And like Google would kill us to say that, because we can't guarantee anything.
Yep.
It's like you hire a lawyer, you're
Right.
gonna get me out of jail. Can you guarantee that? It's like, no, I'll do what I do best. When I work with websites, this is what we usually achieve. And yeah, so that kind of drives me nuts. And that it's, I don't think it's that big a deal anymore, but that used to be
But
a big
Andreas,
deal.
it's like
Just those
it,
guarantees.
so it's like a fad diet. There's no way you're losing 10, 15, 20 pounds in 30 days.
Right.
You
Right.
there's no one pill that you take. There's no magic formula of do these 5 things and in 30 days you're going to have 1 million people hitting your website. It
Right.
sounds to me that you guys at Bloofusion, do you guys have like a proven process? And for those people, those startups specifically that are listening to this today, that just got an A round, just got a B round, and they're like, hey, we want to do some more, or we don't have anything, we need to do something. Kind of just give like a light outline of, and I know you got multiple packages, but like a rough outline. Does it take like, hey, 30 days, we're coming in, we're filling everything out and looking at what you have? Or do you have a formula that kind of like one size fits all, but there's customization around it?
So with SEO, it's really simple.
Okay.
Don't touch SEO with a 10-foot pole before before there's any conversion data. What I mean by that
Yeah.
is, let's say you're a startup. So doing digital, so here, this is an interesting challenge that we're dealing with right now. Startups, if you're Series A, okay, that makes sense. You got some money doing digital marketing, fine, no problem. But if you're pre-Series A, it's a little more difficult. So we're actually working with VCs to help startups kind of communicate, well, to get the message from VCs to get that verification, but to also help startups communicate the fact that we have a digital marketing strategy is
Okay.
big enough that we can add it into our pitch deck, for example. And this is could even be pre-seed, but it just kind of shows that these guys are motivated. They've thought through this. It doesn't mean that they're spending $30,000 a month on say Google Ads, but it just means they've thought this through. And so if any company comes to us and says, hey, we want to do SEO, we say, okay, hold on. We need to do paid search first and do it for at least 60, 90 days. Why?
Okay.
Because we want to figure out what converts for you guys.
Makes
Once we
sense.
figure that out, what content, which keywords, which concepts, which products convert, then we can integrate that into SEO, because that's the long game, right? Because then you integrate that into content, you roll out content. The way you don't want to do it is do SEO, use some of the tools, guess at, I don't want to say keywords because it cheapens
Right.
it, but guess at the content that'll work
Yeah.
for you. You roll that out, you put a ton of work into it. And then 60 days later, you've got it live. And then, it's going to, it could take you 2-3 months for it to really get into the index and churn. And then you realize, hey, it's great, we're getting a ton of traffic for this stuff, but nothing's converting. What a waste of time.
Now, I like the logic that you guys have and the fact that you have a process in itself. That's what I really wanted to grab out of that question. That you mentioned Google. Let's go here for a second. This is probably one of my favorite questions that I prepped that I wanted to throw at you. Is Google actually? Do you feel like they're actually still optimizing for users or for advertisers?
Um,
What side of the who are they? Are they working? Are they optimizing more for the person shopping or for the person that's doing the advertising? Do you think that there is some
right.
play
So
in there that, yeah,
yeah, so they're under a little bit of pressure, as
right.
we know.
Yeah.
But they've always said that their algorithm works for the user, but obviously, way back we even knew that, like there was kind of a religious question with them. Does the like the church and the state, does does the organic algorithm, is that influenced by what you do on Google Ads? And the answer has always been, oh, absolutely not. But we know there is a relationship, because Google, if you're running a site, you're probably using Google Analytics, and Google knows the traffic that your site has. And if Google just sees, hey, these guys have, I don't know, like 400,000 visitors
Yeah.
a month, and it's not organic, like, it doesn't even matter what it is. It's like, okay, this site has a certain standing.
Yep.
It in our minds, says Google, we're gonna ratchet it up a few notches, and then it gets a better organic ranking, a better, natural ranking. So there is a relationship between those two. Yeah.
I got a wild question just popped up. So I used to be a commodity trader. So you remember the movie
Okay.
Trading Places?
Yeah.
Okay, the guy's crazy jackets, Chicago Board of Trade. Okay.
Mhm.
I actually was not wearing I was wearing a crazy jacket in the 90s, but not there on the floor. I was actually
Okay.
making the phone call into the floor. Here's where I'm going. Um,
Interest. I had no
the,
idea, Edward. Oh my God.
yeah, hey, a lot of stories, man. I'm telling you, you just got a little
Check
piece,
you out.
a little
Wow.
piece of the action up there in Mountain View.
Yeah.
So the best traders in the world, this is
Yep.
pre 2000. You wanted to be on the floor, on the step, because you're literally watching and have the inside scoop on what Morgan Stanley, what JP Morgan, what the big houses are doing when they're
Mm.
doing it. When they're
Yeah.
buying a
Yeah.
100, a 500, a 1,000 lot of the S&P 500. Follow me where
Mhm,
I'm
mhm,
okay,
mhm,
here's where I'm
mhm.
going. Here's where I'm going. What is the value for Andreas Mueller to have the opportunity to sit on one of the top steps in a Google think tank for the algorithm? Can you imagine understanding the matrix? It's on my phone. Having the matrix of knowing what it's going to take for, I mean, because I love it. Bloofusion, you're helping companies with the process that you've kind of given some flavors to today. But actually being with the, no pun intended, the Oracle, sitting there with what they're, when they make a pivot, being right there, not 5 minutes, not 5 days, not 5 months late. Like when they make a pivot,
Yep.
you need to be like, that is got
Right.
to be
Right.
worth, that's got to be priceless.
A
Thoughts?
ton. Yeah. I mean, we love guessing those pivots ahead of time. I guess not ahead of time, but as they're occurring, we pick up a lot of the signals
Sure.
in forums, and then we kind of give educated guesses around that. But I think the big thing is just kind of focusing on core updates, because that's kind of where things are happening these days. And uh, I mean, it sounds cheesy, but um, although SEO is not a main focus of what we're doing, it's part of what we're doing, but
Sure.
it's maybe 20% of our business
Okay.
at this point. If you sounds really cheesy, if you do the right thing, if you crank out good content, here's another pointer. This
Yeah.
is the whole AI discussion, right? Everybody's so concerned about AI and, oh my God, Google's going away. Well, not yet. Google's still here, so there's still a ton of traffic going through Google. And everybody's trying to figure out, so how do we trick AI to get into AI? And it harkens back to the early days of search engines. How do we
Yeah.
trick Google? How do we trick AI? You don't trick AI. You just think like AI. And so instead of so just kind of take it a notch higher, and instead of thinking in terms of keywords, which was the old, like the very early day thinking,
Yeah.
very kind of programmer, like binary thinking, think, what does AI focus on? AI focuses on natural language. It answers questions. So
Yep.
if you can integrate those questions into your content somehow with answers, obviously, and so the content could be podcast,
Yep.
could be a webinar, it could be a blog, it could be like even a product page, frequently asked questions. Get the right kinds of long tail questions in there, answer them, and then AI will pick them up because
Well,
AI is still, where does AI get its information?
well,
It's
I want you to stay on this track as it
Yep.
pertains to AI. Let's talk about AI generated content, tactical edge or digital landfill. Like, what's your take on it? Like all this AI generated content, and I'm not just talking about the verbiage. I'm talking about the illustrations, the videos that are out there. Do you think it is a tactical edge, or do you think it is just an absolute digital landfill that, oh my gosh, how many GPUs it's costing to generate as quick as possible energy, electricity, infrastructure?
So I love the way you're putting it. But again, I think it's binary thinking because
Okay.
I think AI is really important, and I've completely changed my thinking around AI. And I feel like if like people I work with, even clients, but on my staff, if they're not using I get pretty pissed off.
Okay.
Like you have to use AI in what you're doing. If you can figure out a way um, to facilitate a task to make it more efficient, absolutely use AI. But you still need the human interface. So if you're creating something, I mean, obviously, the prompts are human. You're stitching things together. You can use
Yeah.
AI. Perplexity is great for research.
Yeah.
Claude is great for writing.
Yep.
I use AI all the time, but it's still me. Like if somebody asks me something about like a blog post, it's not like, oh, I don't know, just
Yeah.
some intern in some other country just pushed that out. It's like I know what's in there because I
Yeah.
thought about this, and it,
Right.
it came, popped into my little brain, and I just decided, hey, man, you got to do a like a LinkedIn post, and so I have a story behind it, right? And then if you add some cool angles with AI, that's great. Sure, go ahead. Yeah. So
Uh,
so so I'm just saying you have to embrace it, but also you cannot. The images are driving me a little bit nuts because it's still pretty easy to
Yeah.
to tell them apart,
Right.
to identify them. So
Deep
it's
fakes are
okay,
good
okay.
though.
So oh
I
my
will say
god, so
that.
it's if you go back to the early days of the web, right?
Okay.
Imagine the real the oh god, like the worst, absolutely worst website you could imagine. The the multicultural meeting, people shaking hands, the kind of
I know what you're
Asian
talking about.
looking woman, and
Yeah.
like this. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's so balanced and so fake. The
Right.
iStock photo approach that I think we kind of got away from. It's
Right.
sneaking back in with AI, and everything is, oh,
Oh, that's an interesting angle. You just, yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, but
Okay.
it's
I
just
like where
because
you're
it's
going
it's
there.
it's not sophisticated enough, and we're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, here I can do, I can
All right.
create
So
these
I
these
lied.
images, and
I
yeah.
lied. I have another question that I think is going to be my favorite that I'm asking you today. Um,
Oh, here comes a zinger. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you had, okay, what's probably, give me one thing, something that your competitors hope you never say out loud. Again, something your competitors hope that you won't say out loud, but you're about to plant it right here on Epic Hype as it pertains to everything we're talking about. It's kind of like, oh, don't mention that, don't say that. I don't know. It could be a crutch. It could be something that they're all still like holding on to, or something else out of the blue.
So this is actually, this is a different angle. This is not what you're expecting here. Um,
Curveball.
I so I'm working with a lot of people who've been in the industry. They're in and out.
Yeah.
They did consulting. It didn't work out. They ended up getting a real job, whatever. I've been doing this since 2001. Okay. And
Nice.
it just works.
Congratulations.
And so the crazy thing is I truly love what I'm doing. And people ask me, "Oh, are you planning on retiring?" And this is to answer your question. Okay, I'm not being a politician here.
Yeah.
So, I know so many people who are like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to get out of this. I can't wait to retire. I can't wait to just kind of hang out and I don't know, go to Europe." And but I love this so much. I love working with people.
You're my
I mean,
hero.
there's a
That's so
new
cool.
there's a new hire I have, Melissa, and she is just, oh my god, she's a firecracker and she is so awesome. I love working with her. She's yeah, she just infuses my life with excitement and chaos.
Andreas, you'd be
But that's,
bored.
oh
You
my
would be
God.
bored. I met you at the conference. And like I said earlier, I was trying to kind of pinpoint what you do without saying, what do you do? And the reality was, when I found out what you do, I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
you're enjoying your time, because you know
Oh my
what?
God.
You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
conversations. So are you
Right.
going to do it at conferences, or are you going to do it on the yacht club talking about
Or
where are
both.
you going to be traveling this summer? I'm not sure what this is right here. This is probably like a mango peach margarita. Yeah.
Right. Right.
So no, you are doing you, and oh yeah, it's my job, and oh yeah, this is great. So
I
you've been
love
doing this
it.
for
I love it.
24 years. Awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. 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 No, it was, people are asking me. So, okay, here's the thing. I love Portugal. I go to Portugal once, twice a year. I've
Big
got
wave
business
surfer? Big wave
part.
surfer? Big wave?
No.
We're not going to get you in Nazaré?
Nazaré. No. I love surfing, but not the big wave stuff.
Okay.
But I've got business people there that I see. I go to the University of Algarve in the south. They've got a tech campus. It's just fantastic. I know a guy there. I mention his name all the time, Miguel Fernandez, and he's like my brother. And like oh my God, dude, we worked on a founders program in October. We had 400 founders from all over the world.
Wow.
We got them down to 12 for the final demo day, and it was in Albufeira, in a beautiful beach community in southern Portugal.
Yeah.
And that's what the hell was my point? I can't even remember.
Well, we're talking about how I don't know. You lost.
Oh no! I know. No. Retiring, because I mean, half of England retires to Portugal, but then people say, "Oh, are you gonna? Oh, you love Portugal so much. Are you gonna retire there?" It's like, no. I might move there and work from Portugal, but
why not?
See what I mean? It's like, yeah. So I think that would be
gig economy, baby.
And it's happening. It's happening to people in this industry, because they can't figure it out, and so they're just saying, "I give up. I'll just retire, whatever."
Well, let me tell you something else that's happening. You and I are going to play a little game. We're going to loosen it up, but then again, we don't need to loosen it up because we're having fun loosening it up. You ready to play a little game? You down? Okay. I'll take that as a yes. Here's the game. We're going to play Epic Start an A. That's Start an A and Chardonnay. Epic Startup DNA in 60 seconds. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you 10 questions in 60 seconds. So you got to be on your game here. Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
Big time challenge.
Wow. This is
I'm
like a
looking
pitch.
for one-word answers. Be quick, be good, be done. Your mission.
One word answer. Okay.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to face your fate, answering all 10 questions. Should you succeed, you, my friend, Andreas Mueller, will receive epic gain status. If you fail, well, then you'll be faced with epic fail status.
The Shark Tank.
Andreas Mueller, do you accept this mission?
I accept.
You have 60 seconds, Andreas Mueller. Describe the startup life in one word.
Exciting.
If you're on an island with one LLM, what would it be?
ChatGPT.
What's harder, raising capital or loaning capital?
Loaning capital.
Meta keywords, relevant or obsolete?
Relevant.
Using ChatGPT to write web content, relevant or obsolete?
Relevant. Yep.
Best sport to watch in the month of October.
Oh God. Hockey.
NVIDIA announced earlier this week its global headquarters. What city?
Ooh, that's a good one. No idea. Houston.
True or false? Candy Crush? No, not the girl you dated in high school. I'm talking about the puzzle game. Candy Crush uses AI to draw players back to their game. True or false?
True.
True or false? New York Times encourages staff to create headlines using AI.
false. I want to say false.
And your favorite curse word is?
With us.
Woo! Want to see your result? Andreas Mueller, 1 minute and 22 seconds. You know I love you. I just have to tell my friend. Oh, that was fun. Thanks for playing the game, man. That was good. Hey, I want to make
so much more from failing, my friend.
I want to make sure that we throw up your website, strategy, energy, clarity. Let's talk about it. What part of your website's your favorite that really kind of gets right to the heart of what you guys are doing and making a difference?
Well, actually, I have an age tech landing page, and that's really near and dear to my heart. So I'm focused on age tech, which is, kind of working with the elderly population, but it also means fintech, health tech, med tech, and it's a huge area. We're aligned with the AARP, and that's a massive. They're like a 38 million subscribers. Super interesting. I was at a summit there 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Well, this is an opportunity for you, my friend, to get to plug your business, any website, where you're going to be. What would you like to plug, and how can people find you and reach out and get more information from the man with the plan?
So we love to help companies scale using digital marketing. We work with startups, pretty much stage. I mean, Series A, Series B is preferred, but we can make a huge difference for you. Also work with enterprises. The kind of little anecdote that I give is that we worked with startups such as Skype, LinkedIn, and Yelp in the early days, and so they were startups back then, and we helped them scale, and that's something. So I'm kind of going back to our roots and kind of opening up the doors to startups, because I love working with startups.
For all those born before 2000, Skype was the original Zoom. Just saying.
Oh my God, we used it all the time. Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh,
it was insane.
I love it, man.
No, and dude, that's how we communicated with our office in Germany.
Yeah,
because that way we wouldn't have to be on the phone and paying the insane like 20 cents a minute, whatever they charge back then. But it was like free phone, right? Free video. Yeah.
Whatever you could get your hands on to talk to somebody on the other side of the planet. I remember like all the news stations would bring on people, and of course you'd have to deal with back then the
right.
And we had made a major decision to Joe, I think we've lost you, Joe. Yeah. Skype, can you get me back? I mean, hey, I love Zoom. And
I do too.
That's my personal favorite.
Yeah.
Even though I'm using StreamYard for this. You're welcome, StreamYard. But Zoom still seems to be the one that's just like, come on, get up and go and get me into the damn meeting.
Yes. It just works. Yeah.
Well, and just like SEO, man, what was working yesteryear is not working today, yet some of it is. You guys got to hear today Andreas bringing it. Andreas, I love this. Like I said from the very top, I'm so used to bringing in game-changing, innovative startup technologies, but I feel it's really important for me to bring in those people that I call part of my epic gas, growth as a service, resources that I can plug people into when I'm out on the road, when I'm at conferences. I got people reaching out to me. I'm always kind of like looking for a top tier people that are able to check a number of boxes to work with small to mid-sized companies or small to mid-sized startups, which would be like pre-B round. And you definitely fit the bill. And the people that look, as long as you've been doing this and the people that and the fact that it doesn't feel like you are actually working, you're consulting and you're helping, it's awesome, man. You're doing something right. So when I grow up, I want to be like you. Did you have fun today?
I had a blast.
Most importantly, was it an epic experience for you today?
It was epic AF.
Well, you heard Andreas, epic AF. Not exactly sure what AF stands for. Awesome fun. I don't know. Maybe it's another Britney Spears song? Not sure. But I'm sure you guys know what he's talking about, right? All right. So listen, guys, shameless plug for Andreas. Now a shameless plug for me. You guys can find more episodes just like this one on all the social media hubs, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, everywhere you go, type in Epic Starts with EP, because after all, it does. Epic Starts with EP. And you guys can also go there and do me a favor. Give me like a thumbs up, and how about a subscribe? That would be awfully nice. I would accept your donation today. Thank you so much for that. Also want to say thank you to our sponsor today, Prancer.io. I want to thank them for coming on and sponsoring cloud security that actually keeps up. That's Prancer.io. Real-time compliance, AI-powered validation, and attack simulations that don't wait for the breach. It's proactive. It's powerful. It's how modern DevSecOps get it done. Level up at Prancer.io and stop flying blind in the cloud. Guys, go over there. You talk to Farshid. Tell them the EP sent you. Maybe mention promo code EPIC, and you might just get something for that. All right, tied up with a bow, wrap it up. We are out of here. I want to thank everybody once again. And if you do want to catch more episodes, head over to the YouTube channel, Epic Starts with EP. And I want to remind you all, everything epic starts with EP. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next episode.